I've got the Grizzly Bear Mandolin right here. I've got the backboard sanded to about 320 grit. It still needs a lot of sanding. But at this point, because there's still a lot of work to do with final carving on the soundboard, final neck carving, headstock inlay, and putting the frets in. Once I have things sanded to 320, even if there is still work to do, I'll put a wash coat or a sealer coat of shellac over it. Just helps protect, seal the wood, minimizes any drastic fluctuations in the wood changing. I keep things pretty constant in the workshop, about 40% humidity, 68, 70 degrees year round. So, but anyway, and it just adds a nice little layer of protection. So it's always, I think it's really cool to see when you're wiping the shellac on. It really just makes the grain pop because you've been working with this material for so long and it's gone through so many stages and transformations, and it's kind of neat. I mean, not quite at the finish line, but it's close, and it's kind of, it helps motivate to keep on going, get things done. So I just have this shellac that I use for sealer coats. This is just a 1 pound cut of shellac. I think this is just denatured alcohol with shellac flakes. And I try not to mix more than what I'll use in like a month, month and a half. So I try to keep it pretty fresh. And I also don't mix a whole lot at a time. So this is just for sealer coat purposes. If I was gonna be French polishing, I always try to mix a whole new batch, but I just use a rag. I don't mind if there's a little sawdust in here too for the sealer coat. I kind of feel like, in a sense, that's kind of like its own form of pore filling. So anyway, let's see if the camera picks it up. Let's move it a little closer so you can see. Kind of like gas off. Usually by the time you get to the other side of the instrument, it's gassed off. If you don't wait for it to gas off, then you're just gonna be smearing shellac around. And unless that's your objective, you're probably just wasting time. I also do sealer coats of shellac on the inside of instruments too. I probably excessively seal coat everything. Braces, bridges, I don't know. It just seems to make sense. This is a tricky grain because, you know, you always hear, go with the grain. But the grain on this is so many different directions. Cast the light on it too. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. You don't want to put too thick of a seal coat of shellac on, because especially if you plan on doing more sanding, and it's just material you got to sand off. And you could either sand it off, or you could just go over the sealer coat with denatured alcohol, and they'll thin it out pretty quick, kind of burn right through it. So anyway,